Now we're inside the game.
Now we're inside the game. I'm in a computer. In the top middle, we have oh, I didn't say it. Ha! The red player, the Terran, known as the one and only.
I am happy.
The yellow shirt just should have given it away, man. What is wrong with me,
how
man?
would you have expected that, though? It's like you're at like region. Oh,
at the bottom right, bottom left. Member of Team Foyu.
Bottom middle.
He is.
ASD for you.
I'm trying to talk fast, man. Don't make fun of me. It's like bottom left-ish.
Come on,
more
man.
towards the left.
Right.
Look,
No,
if I drew
no,
a line through the middle of the map, would it be on the left side or the right side, QXC? On the left side.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, like if you go like right here down the middle, oh, it's on the left side.
You just moved the mouse to the right side of the base and then drew a line. That doesn't count. That's not how lines work. That's not how halves work.
I'm serious. You guys, someone's going to do it on Reddit. They're going to take the minimap, they're going to cut it in half, and they're going to actually measure the sides, and then they're going to be wrong.
No, and then I'm going to be right. And then you're going to look at that picture and you'll be like, seppuku. And it'll be sad. And then I'll take over your Twitter follows. I'll assimilate them.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter at EpicSoWolf. You can follow GOMTV at GOMTV. You can follow QXC at QXC0000. That's 4 zeros.
Why did I make that account?
I don't know. You can actually change your name. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah. I'll show you when we get home, yeah.
My voice is all going crazy.
I know, when QXC
so
gets excited, he gets all high-pitched. It makes me want to talk high-pitched.
And then we just get into this battle where we start talking higher and higher pitched. Speaking of battles where things... Wait, why are there orbitals at different timings?
Because Happy went gas first.
Ah, yes, he did.
QXC is one of those people that would have to explain to him. When he gets in the base, sees the factory, he's like, I don't understand this. He's like, oh, but the orbital's at a different timing. It must have been gas first.
Yeah, because the factory's not the tell. It's the orbital and the amount of gas mined. I see the factory and I'm like, that's normal. And this is actually the most extreme variance of builds. 1-Rex expand versus gas first.
He even got a fast second gas as well with this.
And I think he should see the late orbital and the amount of gas mined.
That's very true, but he won't actually see the factory.
No, that's actually really bad. If I scouted like that... No, he should know because there's only one Marine. And he saw no add-on.
But what if he thinks the factory is not inside of his base and that's being proxied? It's very difficult to do that on a map like this.
Yeah,
but he didn't actually see the factory, so... I mean, he scouted almost the entire base. The only part of the base he didn't see was where the factory was.
Right. I don't know.
It'd be very unusual to proxy on a map like this, though. It would have so much diminishing
There's
returns.
not really a good place to put it.
Yeah.
I feel like I was going to say something about something. I don't know what it was, though. What were we talking about before the scout came in?
We were talking about how it's different extremes. One guy's going gas first, one's going one barracks
No,
expand.
something else. Oh, I know. Remember the increasing volume in voices, the pitch?
Oh, yeah.
And then I was going to talk about a battle of increasing things. Did I tell you about my race with Karn?
Oh, I heard that happened, but I didn't hear what... Okay,
right.
so tell me the story.
All right, so real quick, I want to give you guys a cap of the game. So 3 racks, 1 racks expand, and Cloak Banshee coming from Happy. Very fast Cloak. It's going to be very hard for ASD to hold this off. So anyways, back to things that are a little more important than what we're actually watching.
Go for it, man. Just tell the story.
Here we go. So we were at the gym. We started going to the gym almost every day, and we were on the treadmill. And I was like, I'm just gonna go for 5 minutes. And so me and Karn and T-Gun are at the gym, and we're rolling on the treadmill. And Hellion's about to poke up the ram. Shouldn't do much damage. Good concave here will hold this off. And so then we're at 7 kilometers an hour, and I look at Karn's and I go, I raise you 0.2. So I go up to 7.2, and then he raises me 0.2. And then I raise him 0.2. And then we get up to 18 kilometers per hour, and we're basically sprinting, well, like very fast running on these things. And long story short, Karn dropped out at about the 4-minute mark. I finished up strong, and then Karn threw up, and it was awesome. And that was our race. So the Banshee coming in here, and the Marines doing a little dance. He does have the engineering bay, though, which is actually really interesting because... against the gas first, he must have known, realized that it was gas first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because otherwise he wouldn't have built the Ipe quite as early.
I really think if he selects the gas and sees the orbital timing, he'll know that that's a gas first. In all seriousness, I'm not even just trying to make fun of it. We had the little disagreement earlier. Because when you scout, I mean, you normally click on the gas, or at least I do, to see how long it's been there. And
Yeah.
also, you saw the orbital energy, you're like, did he drop a mule late? I don't think so.
Well,
That'd be
but
really weird.
You would know, because if you can see, like, it should have a different amount left.
Exactly.
Right.
So he sees the energy left, and he's like, oh, he dropped the mule at a later timing. There's no reason why he did that unless he was just like making a sandwich in his booth or something. He was like, oh, oops, I forgot to drop my mule.
Even if he dropped the mule later, it would still have a different amount left. Like, it should have the same amount as you.
Exactly.
Unless he let it get to 200 and then dropped the mule late.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's not possible because the orbital had, like, just finished.
Indeed. So we're absolutely sure that he should have known. Like, there's no excuse. And that's why he has that fast engineering band. Now, Banshee doing a lot of damage here.
I'm, like, so nitpicky right now, and I don't know why. I'm sorry, Wolf.
It's okay. No, I mean,
forgive me?
I don't, no, I'm not like.
Please
I don't
forgive
feel
me.
insulted. It's okay.
Wolf,
You're
will
doing a
you
great
forgive
job
me?
here today. I forgive you, but there's nothing to forgive.
Can you forgive me?
I can't actually forgive you if there's nothing to forgive.
So one thing to note here is Happy's... This is kind of something that happens when Banshees get into your base and you're not fully prepared, is they start to mess with your micro. I don't know if you noticed, but on the screen we saw a factory with a reactor on it just sitting there for probably a good 30 seconds. That's supposed to be for the starport. It's supposed to be making medevacs, but ASD is so distracted dealing with this Banshee that he didn't float it over. You can see there, there's the float swap that we expected to see almost a full minute ago. And things like that can really affect your timing.
That's true. And he didn't even make the first, if he was going to wait and just make a Viking first to help deal with the Banshee and then switch, that would have been good, but he didn't even do that. So it was a little weird.
Yep. I mean, that's just a way, that's how this game works. The more you get inside your opponent's head, the more things you force them to react to, the harder it's going to be for them to continue with their game plan. And both players actually supply stuck at 70.
That's a little unusual.
And both players building 2 and 3 supply depots.
Well, Happy is going up to 3 factories here again.
Yep, so we are going to see Mech once more.
Did get that Blue Flame Hellion upgrade. So,
go ahead. Sorry.
Just doing the exact same build as last game, essentially, is what I was going to say.
Well, I actually wasn't going to say anything at all. I just felt like interrupting you, and I'm not sure why, so then I stopped myself.
QXC, you're a funny guy, man. I love casting with you. I'm absolutely serious. This has been like the best day of my life. All right, now ASD moving out with a relatively small army. Just wants to poke around, take control of the watchtowers.
Does he have concussive shell?
He does. Yeah.
Okay,
also has
so
stim, of course.
That's really good.
And it's actually so important against Hellions to have that.
Oh yeah, concussive shell. Basically, if Hellions get anywhere close to this ball of units that
They're
ASD
all
has,
gonna die.
yeah, they're all gonna die, or at least a lot of them.
At least 80%.
As many Marauders as you have Hellions, that will die.
That's true.
Which is over 90%.
I think it was about 87.6. I did the math.
I trust you.
Thanks. We trust each other, QXC and I.
It's true. So you can see both players just kind of jockeying for control. Basically what they're doing right now is they're trying to control the watchtowers so that they can see the movements of their opponent. They need to see if a drop is coming, and there's the medevac. They want to see, like, if Happy controlled... Does he control this tower? Can you check? Okay, so for whatever reason, Hellion snuck by that Marauder. Can we go to ASD's main and watch that drop? Yeah, so ASD had the watchtower. He saw the Hellions go there. He thought maybe a drop. He's ready. And this is really what they're doing when they're trying to hold those center base watchtowers, is they're trying to see what's coming.
Exactly. A lot of the time, you have Vikings patrolling around, but you don't necessarily want to invest in that. Holding the watchtowers is so helpful. Basically, if you have all 4 watchtowers, you can see the entire middle of the map. You can see anything that's coming by ground. Then sometimes you see players put depots around the sides of the map. In fact, right now, Happy's got a Marine. He's got a dropship going around. There's units going around the edges of the map to make sure that there are no drops coming. Sometimes you see depots, but not always, because if you lose the depot, like spotted, it's kind of bad.
Right. And there, the sensor tower does finish for Happy. This is really important with a mech style. A big drop of Marine, well, just bio in your main can really ruin your day as a mech player.
Yeah. It can actually ruin your day in any match. It drops in general. It's pretty day ruining, actually.
You haven't played a matchup where your main combat unit is 2.25 movement speed and can't walk up cliffs. Let me tell you, it really ruins your day when you're making siege tanks.
Yeah, my Colossi can walk up cliffs.
Oh, really?
It's handy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they can. That's actually a new feature in StarCraft 2.
Oh, really? What patch did they add that in?
It was actually introduced in the alpha stages of the development.
I thought it was downloadable content, actually.
No. Actually, when you buy StarCraft, you get everything with the game. You don't have to buy DLC. It doesn't cost extra, and it doesn't, like, give you certain weird advantages or cool costumes.
You heard it here. StarCraft 2, the best game ever.
It is the best game ever, actually. It is actually the best game ever. It's unquestionable.
Actually, it is actually the best game ever.
It is actually the best game ever, actually.
So you might be able to see it. There's a medevac moving on the left side of the map from ASD. And Happy has a Marine there. He'll probably see that.
It's going to be pretty close, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a shot of it on the left side of the map.
Hopefully.
I'm checking at least.
All right.
He doesn't see it.
Oh, weird. That's actually strange. Why did he...
Well, the medevac saw the Marine, but the Marine didn't see the medevac, so he thought the Marine saw it.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And Happy actually moves a bit of his army to compensate for a possible drop, but then moves it back out. Happy has a very scary-looking army right now.
He does that. He's doing that. Well, hold that thought. Oh, it's just a watchtower. I thought that we were going to have like a mega battle. He does this composition. Obviously, it's very mech-heavy, but he gets 2 Banshees, and he has air control, so the Banshees can just abuse everything.
The funny thing about this build that Happy is doing is he's basically assuming his opponent isn't going to make Vikings or Banshees. Because, like, he's got 4 Vikings and 2 Banshees, and everything else is Hellions and tanks. Oh, he's actually making... Oh, ASD is making a Thor. Okay, that makes sense. He's going to use that to deal with the Banshees.
Yeah, they have great range, obviously.
Yep. And one thing that actually Happy can do when he sees his opponent making Thors to deal with Banshees is he can start making battle cruisers.
That's true.
Yep.
Now, right now, ASD is maxed out and Happy's at 180 supply, but that doesn't really matter because I don't think either of these guys are going to have a real engagement until the max out comes. And then it's going to become a battle of who has the better unit composition, the better upgrades, the better positioning.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard for ASD to really take this game. He's not in a position where he can lose easily, but Happy's in a position where he can lose even less easily, if that makes sense.
Basically, Happy has so many siege tanks, his composition is so much better. The Marauder-heavy army of ASD will never reach Happy's army if he's sieged up. It will just never reach it.
The problem is it's very hard for Happy to actually push because his army is so slow and immobile. ASD really want... Oh, he's going for it. And we need to watch. There we go. And this is actually so bad by...
I don't know why he's doing this. There's point defense drones down, and there's so many siege tanks here. He's losing all of his units.
Yeah, I didn't really like that decision.
He just kind of went for it. He was like, oh, there's point defense drones. Who cares? I'm just going to go in with my Marauders anyways. Oh, that was awful,
and I think this is kind of the frustration that a lot of players have when they face a new style, particularly mech. Because mech, you can't attack mech.
Right.
Attacking mech is how you lose mech. You win mech by attacking where mech isn't.
Exactly.
Mech is at the store buying groceries, and you attack him at home. You burn his house down. And then he comes home and he puts out the fire, and then you burn the grocery store down, so he can't buy more groceries.
It's starting to sound like a weird video game, like PC game.
Like Postal.
That's actually exactly what it sounds like, man. Now, Happy moving around the map, like you were saying, he doesn't have the more mobile army, so ASD is trying to find openings. The problem is he's just being so good at controlling everything. He's got watchtowers covering all of his bases. He's got turrets up.
Yeah.
And the problem also is ASD is so close to max. It's hard for him to hold that thought.
Here we go.
Running in
Happy
here,
is
hitting
moving.
those Thors.
And the siege tank's doing a good amount of damage. Happy just has too much. ASD, he needs more practice against this mech style. That's really, like, if I had to say why ASD is not having the time that he wants, he's playing as if his opponent is going bio, not as if his opponent is going mech. But he does. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
He's doing a counterattack.
This is what he needs.
He's going to the grocery store right now because he's at home. Well, actually, he's at the grocery store. He's going to his house.
And he's going to burn it down.
He's burning it down right now.
He's burning it down. Look at him burned it. That is Happy's home, and it just got burned down.
That's actually like his coastal villa. But he may actually send these units to the actual home if he lifts them up and avoids these Hellions. Nope.
The security guards got home. They found the wreckage, but they are going to clean up.
I wish my coastal villa had like a twin Ibex cannon attached to the top of it. That'd be so sweet.
I wish I had a coastal villa. That'd be sweet too.
Now, these units are actually being attacked from different sides here. ASD having a pretty good position, but running forward for seemingly no reason.
Yeah, he could have saved a lot of units there. ASD is actually doing, like, we've been kind of playing it up like ASD is actually getting stomped, but he's actually not doing badly. He could just be doing much better.
I think he's slowly trying to switch his composition over. He needs to add more factories gradually and start switching his composition, or at least start being more mobile with his units.
Yeah.
He's got to do one of the two things.
If you play bio against mech, you've got to be more mobile. You can't fight mech head-on. And that's kind of what we're seeing ASD do. Meanwhile, Happy is actually just going for it.
Yeah, he's just going to go for it here from several different sides, sieging up. The Marauders running forward, a little bit indecisive, but
I think ASD is actually going to clean this up. This isn't really how you play mech. This is how you play bio, is you attack from all different angles. And I really think ASD got the better end of that.
It is now 7 supply up. Right now, worker-wise, 47 workers for Happy, 43 for ASD, but the real bigger issue is that they're both on about the same number of bases. They're both on 4 bases, both kind of trying to take a 5th base.
Yep.
Little engagement over here. Happy losing actually some more of his units.
And I actually think this might be enough.
Sorry, excuse me, I had to sneeze there.
Yeah, I saw that. I was a little confused at first, but when I heard the noise, I knew. This might be enough for ASD to really get himself back into the game here.
Yeah, and this is actually really funny because when we watched Jinro play against ASD had the same style. And Jinro just played a little bit too passively with his, he never like moved towards his opponent. This time Happy's actually moving towards his opponent, but he's doing it all the wrong ways. He's getting too aggressive, he's moving too many unsieged tanks at a time.
Well, like what he was trying to do was cut off all of the ways that ASD could run around so that he didn't have to deal with those flanks.
Uh-oh.
And sieging up in range, those are in range. He needs a scan here.
Well, he's got that Viking. ASD has that.
That's what I meant.
Right, okay. Well, that battle actually, I thought there were more tanks overlapping than that. It was just one tank overlapping on each side.
Yeah, it looks really scary. And here we see a nice flank, and this is the kind of stuff that ASD really needs to be doing to abuse the mech style. Some Vikings would really help him here too.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, right now, Happy has taken the top right. I guess you could say like the right base is 3rd.
Are those rich on this map?
No, the geyser is actually, I'm checking right now, it used to be rich. I don't think it is anymore.
Not
no,
anymore.
It's a normal geyser now.
So, one thing to note is that is actually the worst base that Happy could take. His build, it relies on gas. It really does. If you don't have gas, the build doesn't work. And so he would really prefer to take a base with 2 geysers.
Plus 3 weapons about to finish up here for ASD. He has 2 upgrades. He has +1 for his vehicles, whereas Happy does have +2. So good upgrades actually for both of these guys. Just a little bit better for ASD though, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
He's got more upgrades all around, but now he's starting to get pushed back here a little bit in the middle of the map.
I think he might be going for a flank actually, and the scan does see it, so Happy is going to be able to react to this. What Happy really needs is a sensor tower right in the middle of that map to prevent any stuff like this. And actually, no. He had a small moment where if he went for it, it might have worked, but Happy losing a couple of units there for no real reason. Just kind of assumed that tanks weren't in position.
Happy, I think, is a little trigger happy.
I think he's getting a little trigger happy, like you said. He felt like, because he was definitely not playing better, but his opponent wasn't reacting. Wow, 29
Yeah, he has
9 takes.
He's making 4 tanks at a time. Actually, he's making more than 4 tanks at a time. They're finishing at different times on the production tab. He's got so many tanks on the way.
Actually, what would be super cool, you know what would be super serial, guys, is if ASD was like 4 tech labs on starports and like made a bunch of Banshees.
Well, here he goes, running forward here with these Marauders.
Ooh,
while
nice.
Happy is unsieged.
Wow, this is really good for ASD. Does pick off quite a lot of units here, and the scan does take out a number of tanks. The thing is, he needs to break through the lines.
Yeah.
What would be so sick right now is if ASD just took a handful of units and rolled up to the top right. If he takes out those bases, that'd be huge.
That would be so huge. That would be like a mega huge QXC. Another engagement over here on the right side.
Tanks sieging up in time.
giving it away that he's moving, and of course that gives ASD plenty of time
here
to
we
react.
go. ASD is just gonna. He's like, you know what? Try and push into my tanks. I don't even care. He is going for it.
He's going back to the villa, and this time it doesn't have a twin Ibix cannon on the top of it.
The villa is not defended, and actually, he doesn't even care about the villa. He's going straight to the homeland.
He's going to the homelands, breaking through these production facilities.
Oh, but he's stimming so much. The tank's taking so many units out. He gets into the main. He's just going around taking out everything in the house. He's breaking furniture. He's knocking down pictures. The Mona Lisa has been smashed. He's doing a lot of damage here.
He actually broke the family pictures. That's really messed up.
He just broke them over his knee, and Happy is in a very difficult position now. He's got to try and save his main, keep his production going. At the same time, he needs to do something. Like, that army out on the map is kind of in no man's land. What do you do with it?
He's slowly moving. His opponent's killing his structures faster than he's killing his. Another thing I'd like to know is there's one Marine in this composition. Why isn't he just lifting up all of his production facilities? Why didn't he lose any of them at all?
I think at this point, Happy is a little panicked. He was winning. He was definitely ahead. He was still doing well. He was pushing in, and then all of a sudden, like, what? My main?
He has actually burned down the entire house. There's only one shingle left. You see that factory? It's the last shingle.
The last shingle. And he is just about to headbutt that shingle into nothingness. It's going to turn into dust.
We do see Happy, though, adding 3 more factories over here. He's kind of hiding up in the north at those bases. Right now, ASD up 30 supply. As far as the siege tank count goes, Happy still has a significant lead, 18-5. But there are 37 Marauders on the field, and they are angry.
They are some angry Marauders.
They are fire bears.
Oh, when you fire bears. When you said the last shingle, those were actually the last shingles.
Yeah, those were the sensor towers. The last shingle.
Just wanted to clarify that in case anyone was confused.
There were some other shingles like still in the ashes. They were still completely whole, and he just went and stomped on them and made sure they're completely broken, and then he walked away. Oh man, this is so smart. Dropping just one group of Marauders over here
at the what is that?
Top right.
No,
it's like the third base of the. Wait, what do you?
Grocery store.
Oh, right. I thought you were just saying like location-wise, like on the map.
No, I know where it is on the map.
No. Yeah, this is actually like, this is like his grandparents' house, man. He's like trashing his grandparents' house now.
You know what? When you mess with ASD, he gets you back, and he gets your family back too. He goes to your grandparents' house and he burns down.
You just don't even know he's about to hit the mother-in-laws. Oh, he's gonna actually these tanks on siege.
Here we go.
This could end the game. He's
that
losing
is
all
huge.
of his tanks.
Very nice move by ASD. Just takes out all of those tanks, and the coastal villa does get lifted. He's gonna move the villa to Argentina. And some tanks do protect Argentina, but the units continue to move. They're going to the house. They're going to the neighbor's house now.
This is the neighbor's house, man. He's wrecking the neighbor's house. He killed his dog. Running up, taking out those siege tanks. The Vikings, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what those Vikings are doing.
They're just rolling around. They're like, Happy? Yes, this is your Viking. There's units killing your neighbor's house. He's like, yeah, man, I got this. I'm a little busy right now.
And now he's rolling into like the backyard.
This is the backyard. Takes out the sensor tower in the backyard. Happy is not going to know if any burglars are coming to go through his backyard window.
That's very true. He's actually taken out all the plants. And now Happy's rolling in with his siege tank guard patrol.
Oh, and the command center does go down. Happy not making the best decisions right now.
Yeah, he's actually now on one mining base, whereas ASD is on... He's got 2 mining bases.
Oh, and was that another? I think that was the coastal villa. It never made it to Argentina.
It never made it to Argentina. Well, right now, supply-wise, Happy is down 20 supply. He's actually pulling some SCVs. He's going to go for another attack here.
I think he's just going to try and all-in at this point.
But I don't think it's going to work. There are just too many Marauders out. There's 22 Marauders out.
There's a lot of Marauders. The thing is, Marauders are very bad against SCVs, and siege tanks have very high DPS against Marauders.
Oh, the Hellions spot the army. They're going to engage here pretty soon.
I think... Well...
Happy actually has like 3,000 minerals in the bank too. Like he just isn't producing his, reproducing his production facilities. Being dropped so many different places.
I mean, look at the Marauders. They're at the
new villa. He got a new villa because he had so much money.
This is the plateau. We're gonna call it the chateau.
It's like his timeshare place. He's gonna get sued. All right, the tanks are sieging up here for ASD.
This is gonna be the last battle. Here we go. The Marauders rolling in. The Marauders are just gonna clean up these tanks. They do so much damage, and
I think that's going to be it. 117 supply to 37 supply. Happy on that one mining base.
He is reinforcing the chateau. He is going to make his last stand there, but ASD, I think ASD is going to go for the neighbor's house again. He's going to burn down the backyard, and then once he's done with that, he's going to go take out the chateau.
Yeah, he just wants to burn down the backyard to make sure the chateau can't be reinforced, can't put up any like bars on the windows or anything like that.
Because a lot of the supplies will come from the neighbor's house and the backyard.
Yeah,
That's
the neighbor's really trying to help him out, but
he's got the supply depots.
But he's going for the chateau
He's
now.
going for the chateau. He's distracted him with the backyard attack, but he's just going to break the chateau down.
And I think this is going to be it, man.
I don't think 2 Hellions can beat that army. No, they can't.
They
I was
didn't,
right.
actually. Yeah, you were exactly right. A good prediction there by QXC.
Here's the cloak Banshee. The Banshee tech switch, which will not work. Actually,
to be blunt, yeah, it's
a little too late. The Marines are 3-2 or 3-3, 3-2.
That Banshee is going to pop out.
Yeah, it could. Oh, he does have cloak, but I'm pretty sure 2 Marines can kill a Banshee when they have that many upgrades. If he stimmed, that would have worked. Trust me, I know.
GG.
And there's the GG. That was a pretty exciting game.
That was a pretty exciting game.
I'm after the first game and the beginning of that game, I was a little underwhelmed with ASD, but he really showed that he does know what to do once he really gets in the rhythm of things. He was a little slow to get it going, but he's got tempo now. He's got momentum. I think he can carry it through.
Yeah, he definitely can. It's like he realized what was going on towards the middle to the later stage of the game. He was like, oh, you're actually just attacking me at weird times. I'm just going to play kind of defensively and then send a small group of units here, small group of units there. He bought too many different places. You know, he just had too many different places. He couldn't keep up with them all. He didn't buy maids at all of those places. Some of them had sensor towers, some of them didn't. Some of them had missile turrets. You have to have a maid at all your different places because when your friends come over, the SCVs, the mules drop down, they break, they make a big mess.
Without the maid, what are you going to do? It's just going to be... It's going to be something that I can't say on air.
Yeah,
a something show. That's all I'm saying.
Well, basically, what kind of happened there in the later stages of the game is he just only made siege tanks, and if you do that, you're just never going to have a mobile enough army to defend. And then if you do, you have to have like 3 siege tanks in every base, and even if you have that, he's just going to drop directly on top of your siege. It's just, you can't have an only siege tank army in TVT.
It's really tough, and part of what happened is Happy was like, you know what? When I open with this build, I get 2 Banshees, I get a couple Vikings, I get a Raven, and once those units die, I never remake them. A couple Ravens there towards the end of the game, couple PDDs that would have been huge against Marauders, and maybe even a PF at his natural.
He was so ahead, but the style that ASD used was so good on a big map like that. If you're using only siege tanks, it's very slow. If you're doing it on a map like Metalopolis, you can kind of contain your opponent, get him in a back corner, but on the map like Terminus, he's just going to float command centers everywhere. Yeah. You're never going to be able to push him because every time you unsiege, he's going to be Marauders coming from 6 different sides. So that's how it turned out. We are going to go into a third game, though. It's going to be our first 2-1 of the night. We're not going to have a 2-0 this time.
And on Crossfire, expect another long one, guys.